Hello everybody, Manticore here. Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft How to Build. In yesterday's episode, we began to build a Warlock's mansion, and unfortunately we were not able to complete the exterior of that build, so that is what we're going to be doing today. As you can see here, we are just going to go ahead and pick right up from where we left off in yesterday's episode. And without further ado, let's get to that time lapse and then we'll continue with the build. Okay, we are back. I thought this was a good point to bring you back in. Now, you probably saw me playing around with these windows up here above the balcony doorways. I have no idea if I like that or not. I'm gonna leave them be for now. And what we need to do at this point in time is we actually need to get the the roof frame going up here on this building. And the reason I went kind of quiet there, you can tell I was thinking hard. That's always what that means. It's because I realized that I actually need to put something in here so that the concrete powder doesn't fall when we put those in. So right up here on the top ledge, I'm just gonna place in some dark oak trapdoors because we're gonna be using those in a few other places as well. Whoops, down it goes. And we're going to go ahead and bring that around to the other side. And you know, while we have these dark oak trapdoors on us, I think we'll go ahead and actually head out into the outside of the building here, and we'll add those around the windows now that we've got all the windows put in. And we can make those be window shutters because the dark oak, it already complements our build. And I think it could really use something else on the outside here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll get started on the roof. Really quick, while I'm down here placing in our Willy Wonka chocolate window shutters here, I thought I'd go ahead and just mention really quick that if you are building this in survival, make sure you're putting up some torches here before we get our lanterns in, because it's very dark down under the balcony in the deck section. But now that we do have that, we can get started. Oh, nope, I've got one more side to do. I lied. I'm gonna go do that other side. Now that we've got all of those window shutters placed on, except for this one apparently, we're gonna go ahead and before we actually move on to the roof up on the upper floor, I want to do something about this ledge over here, because this is gonna need a roof on the other side. So now I was kind of thinking to repeat what we have over there, but since there's not really a deck, that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. So I think what we can go ahead and do is we can actually just do 2 sets of stairs. And even though the slope difference is going to be pretty different, I think this should be enough. We just want to get something in here so that it's not flat wall. And then we'll throw this in upside down. And you know, I think at this point we could probably even build up a little bit more of a roof on that top ledge. And I'm thinking we do that on this end as well. Even though it is a flat roof over here, I think this will help to sort of give it some kind of ledge. And I'm just looking at this here and I'm wondering whether or not we should add some nether brick up top like that. But it does look pretty weird, so I wonder if maybe we could do something where we bring this out by 1. And then, okay, yeah. So check this out. We do this, and then oh, there's a nether brick wall? Okay, this isn't what I was originally thinking, but this could work out pretty well too. That or maybe stone. And we'll do the usual thing where we do 2 and compare them next to each other. Interesting. Okay, so what if we actually did these steps? Because at this point, that nether brick wall is pretty much the same thing as what we had with the stairs, and I just don't know that I like that texture being dragged across. But if we did something like this, I think that gives it a really good balcony look. And then we can go ahead and bring that across over here as well. But not right there, I lied about that part. Okay, so just like this. And then we can go ahead and either do full gray concrete over here, or we could do this stone. I think we'll just go ahead and do this gray concrete because that doesn't look too bad. Okay, so if we do something like that. Now I don't know how big of a fan I am of this coming all the way across like here. It looks a little skinny to me, so if we did something like that. Oh, I see it. Right in here. If we do that. Yeah, I think that looks better. Okay. So then, rather than jumping over to the other side and doing the same thing over there, I'm going to actually start to build up this next roof. And that way we can get this all planned out, and then we can just finish it all up in one go. Shoot, you know what? This is one too low looking at it. So let's go ahead and just follow that same pattern. We'll do the gray concrete all the way around. And then we'll also go ahead and increase the roof frame by 1. So if that sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo and you are really following what I'm saying, not like that, but yeah, pretty much what, actually, how would that work? That could be decent, maybe? Maybe. We'll give it a try. Okay, so by increasing the roof frame, I just meant this, bringing these all up by 1, just like we did with the rest of it. And this should mostly be covered by the roof itself, so it shouldn't be a problem being that different color. Let's go ahead and throw on this roof here and see what we think. Another thing too that I wanted to mention is that I'm always recommending that you guys play around with different blocks, and I'm going to say that especially for this build, because even though this is a Warlock / Necromancer's mansion, it's also a really good mini mansion in general, because if you were to change out all these dark colors, you could get a fairly normal looking mansion. So if that's something that you are interested in, it's something you can definitely do. Either with different colored concrete, or concrete and concrete powder, or just different blocks in general. Play around with it and see what works best for your world. Now that we've pretty much got a very generic one step up slope type one step roof, we can go ahead and see this build coming along better. And that's looking pretty good on this side. Now, in the center, we'll have to do some kind of circular type roof around that part as well. But you know, I think it's coming along pretty good. And then for the main square, back behind here, beyond this circle, we could either increase it by another floor, or I might have to think about that one a little bit. Let me go ahead and put in this other side so that it's symmetrical at least up to this point, and then we'll figure out our next steps. Now that everything is symmetrical, let's go ahead and move forward into this next section. Now, I'm not too sure how we're gonna do this back part just yet, but for now, let's go ahead and start dragging the roof around this section. And so we're actually going to be adding on one more tier to this circular area, but that's about it, because we don't want it to get too tall, but we do want just a little bit more something over here. And since this is going to be built around the circular area itself, we can go ahead and build those up like so. And then we'll do the same thing over here. Is that all? No, one more. Okay. So I'm thinking we'll probably wind up having just these two roofs connect in the center. And then for down here, oh, I'm not too sure. We might be able to just take it out by 1. This might not be as hard as I'm thinking, or at least that's what I'm hoping. Now let's go ahead and build this up just a little bit more. And I'm not sure whether we actually want to have windows over there or if we want to do something else entirely. So I'm going to go ahead and actually bring the circle frame out up here where this concrete is. And this will help us not only build up the walls of the area that we're building, but it'll also help us determine where more of the roof goes and what we can do with our room setup. Okay, so I'm almost wondering if we could do a little bit of a decorative piece in here, but at the same time I don't want to go too far with it. So maybe let's try doing some quartz steps. Now this might be too much. And you know, I don't know that I'm gonna like how it looks. Might be too tall. There's a few reasons that that idea might not work, so we'll just go ahead and take it out now. But what if we did something like this? Does that look strange? It almost looks like there was a window there that got boarded up. I have mixed feelings about that, but let's leave it in there and give it a try. And I'm almost thinking that instead of the concrete powder, we go ahead and do just regular gray concrete. So this is definitely the shortest level or tier that we have so far. It's only 3 high, but we don't need it to be too tall. It's mostly just for decorative purposes and maybe, if anything, like some kind of attic. Now let's go ahead and start wrapping around a spire roof. So that's pretty much going to be all stairs. And if we want to give it sort of a different slope, we can mess around with it here as we start building up. Now, I'm not too sure how these two are going to go together, so let's play around with that just a bit. Okay, so something like that maybe? And then let's come around to this other side too. Now that we've got those bottom 2 layers on of regular stairs, maybe let's go ahead and try switching it up and doing, oh, maybe we do a full block. And so that we aren't here for forever, let me grab a full nether brick, that way we aren't building up by half slabs. There we go. So let's give something like this a try. And this is going to give it a really steep incline, but my hope is that we can give it more of a peak-like spire that just has a really unique sort of a curve up. It's hard to describe, but if you've ever played around with spire type roofs, then you might have an idea of what I'm talking about here. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and actually maybe try building up by I was gonna say by 2 next, but that looks a little weird. Let's go ahead and put this in here and see what we think. Okay, yeah, see, I'm not a big fan of that, so maybe what we can do instead is just do half slabs. Did we go up too fast? We grew up too fast. Oh, I know. I think instead of doing that, we do this. I've done this once before, and I'm trying to remember how I did it, but something like this, maybe? And then on those, we do half slabs. Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. And then let's go ahead and switch back over to some just regular stairs. Okay. That looks like a pretty decent incline right there. And we might have to mess with this window a little bit more. I still don't know if I like that. Now for in here, we can try going up by... Oh, that's way too high. Let's just go up by 1. And that might even still be too high. Then let's grab a nether brick wall. Oops. I have my laptop set up at kind of a weird angle, my keyboard, so I keep hitting the wrong button tonight, and it's not going over too well. But let's give something like this a try. Okay, yeah. So definitely not 2, but how does 1 look? Not bad? Question mark? Maybe not. We can do wraparound stairs then, I guess. Or is it still too tall? Yeah, it's still too tall. Okay, so I think instead of doing the full blocks there, we'll just go ahead and do the stairs. And that's a pretty good peak, you know? I don't know why I was so worried about it. We'll just do that. Oh... And what we could do, I don't know if this will work right or not. I think it makes it a little too big. I think this will be just outside of the corners. Yeah. I was gonna say something like that, but I don't think that looks quite right, so maybe not. Maybe not, folks. But I do want to give this almost a very similar gothic feel to what we did over there on the church, so that they kind of go together and they aren't so individual in this build. But now that we've got this front set up, which looks really good, we just have to go ahead and get the back finished off on the roof. So I'm thinking I'll just go ahead and start out doing something like this. And since this is the back of the build, I'm not too worried about it, because not a lot of people are going to be back here. Honestly, I don't think we're going to be building anything beyond this point. But if you are building this in your own world, you might want to keep that in mind when you're choosing a location. We'll have to see how this roof looks, though, before we go assuming it's not great. Now, as I am sure we are reaching the end of this video, this is probably going to be a two-part video. As a matter of fact, I'm certain of it. We'll do the exterior in this build, and then, similarly to what we did in the Shaman Camp build, we'll do the interior all in a following video. So whether that's tomorrow or whatever next day I have to release it. I think it should be Sunday? Yeah, because this video I think should be coming out on a Thursday. I'm recording a little bit ahead while I have some time off, so forgive me for that, but hey, we gotta be productive when we can, right? I gotta get you guys as many videos as possible. That's the plan. Oh my gosh, so tedious. Okay, we are getting super close to the top though, at least, which is great. I think for this one, I'm just going to bring this over to the corner, and then we're going to mess with that centerpiece, so that way we know what we're doing. So, immediately I see this, and I think just straight up slabs. Like, we'll just finish this off here, and then give it that peak in the center corner area. Okay, so you know, I think that should be pretty good, because if we're down here looking up, well, you definitely can't see anything from down there, but from out here, you don't really see anything. Although, I do think that we need to give this little guy a turn. So, we'll go ahead and do that over here as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this roof here since there's not too much left. And then we will give this guy a once over, and that should be it for today's episode. So hang with me just a little bit longer, folks. I appreciate it if you've stuck in this far. Okay, folks, we're back. Our roof is complete. Got these goofy little windows that I might have to change, but so this is how the back exterior wound up looking, and you know, that's not too bad. It could be a lot worse, so I'm pretty happy with that, I think. Now for these strange little windows, I'm thinking, oh, I really don't want to have to replace that. Oh, that's gonna be rough. Okay. What if we did... Yeah, I'm just gonna have to get rid of this powder and replace it. But, what if we did something just super basic, like something like that? And then we'll fill the rest of these back in. And then we'll just do some regular old glass panes in there. So I was trying to do something a little bit fancier, but you know, I just wasn't a huge fan of what we were coming up with. And you know, I don't know how I feel about that either, full honesty. Oh, regretting this now. Okay. What if we did something like that, maybe? And then we fill the rest of this in? Okay. You know, that's not too bad. And, oh, I've got to fix it on that side too. But you know, folks, I think I like that. And then, let's go ahead and grab some doors. I think for these, we can just do some regular old dark oak doors. And I'm going to hold on to that because I think I'm going to need it here. If not, definitely not this episode, but probably in the next one. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll clear this off. And I'll replace all this. Alright folks, that is going to do it for the exterior of our Warlock slash Necromancer's mansion. And guys, this thing is pretty big compared to what we've built on this channel so far in our how to build videos. How to build? How to build. I don't know folks, it's late, I'm tired, but we have some incredible room on the inside here. This is going to take some major interior decorating, so you can expect a very full episode in the next upload. Now, that is going to do it for today, folks. If you did enjoy, I hope you go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to see more awesome videos like this, including the interior design and a little bit of exterior work, don't forget to hit that subscribe so you don't miss out. Until next time, folks, have an awesome one, and I will see you then. Bye!